My name is David Firmin. I'm an attorney with Hyman Sanchez, and I've been asked to present to you or talk to you today about how an association adopts a budget, which really depends on whether or not the association is a pre-Kiowa or post-Kiowa community. And if you're unfamiliar with those designations, any community formed in the state of Colorado prior to July 1st, 1992 is referred to as a pre-Kiowa community, or Colorado Common Interest Ownership Act community. Any community formed after July 1st of 1992 is a post-Kiowa community, and the full breadth of the Colorado Common Interest Ownership Act is applicable to that community. So how you adopt a budget is really dependent upon when the community was created. So in reference to a post-Kiowa or a community that's subject to all of the Colorado Common Interest Ownership Act, budgets are adopted to section 303 sub 4A of the Act, which contains very specific instructions on how to adopt a budget. And it starts with the board of directors gets together and discusses the anticipated cash requirements for the upcoming year, which must include a component for reserves or future anticipated expenditures for the maintenance of the community. And once the board gets together, determines how much it's going to need, the section 303.4A of Kiowa then states the board of directors, within 90 days of approval of the budget, must remit that budget to the owners, or a summary of the budget to the owners. So it doesn't require the association send the entire budget with every itemized detail. It does state that the association can send a summary, meaning anticipated cash revenues, anticipated cash expenditures, expenses for management, expenses for maintenance, insurance, and if, depending on how much detail the board chooses to send out, that is delivered to the owners. Now, Kiowa then goes on to state that it must be sent either by U.S. mail or otherwise delivered, which implies that the association can email the budget to all the individual owners, if that's how they prefer to do it, or send it by U.S. mail, or could post it on a website and then send a notice to all the owners where they can get the budget. Those all might constitute or constitute effective ways of delivering the budget to the owners. The Act then goes on to state that within a reasonable time after delivery of the budget to the owners, the association must schedule a meeting to ratify the budget. The way the Colorado Common Interest Ownership Act is set up is that the budget is deemed approved unless a majority of all owners in the community veto the budget. So it's deemed approved without affirmative action of the owners, and the owners would actually have to get up and veto the budget if they didn't care for the budget that was produced by the board. The Colorado Common Interest Ownership Act also permits the association not even to have a quorum at the meeting upon which they discuss the budget. So it's one of those things that if nobody shows up, the budget is deemed approved. And even if a wide variety of owners show up but fail to veto the budget, it's deemed approved. So as you can see, the way that a budget is approved pursuant to the Colorado Common Interest Ownership Act is very liberal, and it's really set up so that an association is able to continue operating and adopt its budgets even if there's not a whole lot of owner input on the process. Now, if your community was created prior to July 1, 1992, the way the association adopts a budget is really very document specific, and you would have to look at your declaration. Examples of how declarations were written prior to the Colorado Common Interest Ownership Act ranged anywhere from an association may impose assessments upon its owners without the necessity of any owner input, and the board had complete and total control over the budget and really just set out a statement of, dear owners, this is how much it's going to cost to run the association, this is your share, pay it, and had absolutely no owner input in it, all the way up to requiring an affirmative vote of owners at a meeting to approve the budget. So as you can see, Kiowa kind of took those two concepts of absolutely no owner input and a lot of owner input and condensed it to a little bit of owner input, and allows the owners to review the budget, allows the owners to ask questions about the budget, but it is very difficult to veto a budget. And I hope that explains how an association adopts a budget in accordance with your governing documents and the Colorado Common Ownership Act. Thank you.